Welcome to Auto Transmission, the podcast from Auto Repair Focus, the UK's leading multimedia magazine. I'm Phil Curry, editor of Auto Repair Focus, and each month I'm going to be bringing you a mixture of news, discussion, thoughts and ramblings, and more, all put into one fairly bite-sized episode that you can listen to whenever you're free. Now, just a bit of self-promotion before we go into things. Auto Repair Focus is a multimedia platform. We bring you the latest news, features, products, and more from around the automotive aftermarket through written, video, and podcast mediums, hence the multimedia platform. This podcast is a big part of that, and it will always be recorded mostly live, so you'll always get my stutterings, ramblings, thoughts, and going on. But you won't just be hearing my voice all the time. I'll be bringing you the latest interviews from industry experts, garage owners, and more across the coming months and years. Now, in this episode, we're going to be looking at Automechanika Birmingham 2025, which is taking place, depending when you're listening to this, either now, soon, or it has taken place already. You'll probably have heard many people talking about the fact that it is a one-stop shop and you have to be there. But I'm actually going to dive into the reasons as to why in a moment. I'm also going to give you a bit of a view of my feelings around the aftermarket so you can get to know me, because let's face it, podcasts allow you to do that. But first, I'm going to be bringing you the best news stories of the last month. But you're not going to hear me rambling them on. I've got a really brilliant voiceover artist to bring them to you. So, with no further ado, this is what's been making the headlines over the last 4 or so weeks.
Newly released figures have shown that record numbers of vehicles failed their MOT due to tyre defects in the past year. According to data from the DVSA, 2.15 million vehicles saw a test failure due to tyre defects. Worryingly, 36% of these failures, equating to more than 750,000 vehicles, had previously been flagged with tyre-related advisories. The figures are up from just over 2 million in the previous 12-month reporting period, and has risen steadily from the 1.83 million level recorded in 2019 to 2020. The UK's used car market saw over 2 million transactions in the first quarter, with an increase of 2.7% year on year. This is the first time such a figure has been achieved since before the COVID-19 pandemic, suggesting the market is firmly back on track. The figures highlight that more vehicle owners are looking to older models to meet their needs. The consistent increase in used car sales is good news for the aftermarket and will likely mean that the UK car park will continue to age. Battery electric vehicles recorded the highest growth in the country, with a 58.5% rise to 65,850 sales. This gave the technology a 3.3% share of all used car transactions. Stress is the leading health and wellbeing issue in the automotive industry. That's according to the latest findings from industry charity Ben. This year's annual Health and Wellbeing report reveals results from the charity's most recent survey, which polled over 1,000 automotive workers. The top 5 health and wellbeing issues identified were stress with 57%, poor sleep 52%, anxiety 44%, not taking time out for rest and relaxation 43%, and low mood 41%. Mental health scores have got worse over the past 12 months, and automotive workers cited they believe employers need to do more to support them, with 1 in 9 people personally affected by lack of support for mental health in the workplace. And headlight glare has been a trending topic in 2025, with many media outlets picking up on stories of drivers being dazzled during nighttime driving. Lighting and automotive electric supplier Ring has used its state-of-the-art lighting laboratory to find bulbs that are not road legal that may instead be a major cause of the issue. LED retrofit bulbs that are for off-road use only are being used on the road in headlamps that were designed for halogen bulbs. It's these LEDs that are more likely to be a contributor to headlight glare.
And that was the news. Now, you will have heard during that segment that the used car market increased in the first quarter of this year by, I think it was 2.7%, with just over 2 million transactions taking place. That is, in my view, one of the more important stories of the month, for the main reason being that it's great news for the independent aftermarket. Now, regular readers of Auto Repair Focus will know that I'm very big on the fact that there aren't really that many challenges in the aftermarket. There are opportunities. And everything that is coming at us all, at garage owners, at technicians, at suppliers, they're all things that can be met and overcome if we all work together. And I've been in this industry now, writing about it for, since 2013, so a long time. And all my years covering the sector, I've never seen collaboration on the scale that we have today. Garage owners, technicians, all working together, helping each other, the building social media, other outlets, other podcasts, other media outlets, everything is working together for the good of this industry. And that's because the industry is good. Yes, there are challenges. We've got electric cars, we've got ADAS, and we've got a skills gap. But these are all things that can be met, can be solved, and can be overcome. And if we can overcome them, and I believe we can, then the opportunities are endless. So the new car market is struggling this year, but the used car market is doing okay. And that means that at the same time, the UK's car park is aging. It's well over a 9-year average age now. There's a lot of vehicles. I don't have numbers in front of me, but there's a lot of vehicles. Most of the car park is between 7 and 15 years old, if not older. All those cars are going to need more and more servicing and more repair work. And these drivers aren't tied to franchise dealerships, so they're going to be coming in to the independent sector. They'll also have heard that battery electric vehicle transactions are up, but they represent 3.3% of the overall used car market. Well, that's not a big number, but let's not forget that battery electric vehicle, or BEV, new car sales have been increasing in recent years, and it's usually around 3 years when a vehicle enters the used car market and then enters the aftermarket. The boom in BEV new registrations began in around 2022, roughly 2021, 2022. So we're going to see more and more of those models coming in to independent garages in the coming years. Now, they do make up a small amount, but legislation says that more people have to buy them, whether you agree with that or not. They are being pushed down that route. And I recently tested a few BEVs, some very cheap ones, the Leapmotor T03, which was great fun. Maxed that out at 87 miles an hour on Millbrook's high-speed bulb, and that was different to say the least. But my point is that they are getting cheaper, they are getting more readily available, and we're going to see more of them. So that used sector is going to increase as well as time goes on. But by working together, getting the training, understanding the market, and there is so much understanding out there now, we can overcome whatever the world throws at the aftermarket. And I firmly believe that we have an opportunity to lead the aftermarket out of the automotive industry. It's absolutely likely that more and more drivers will need independent garage services as the years go on. So keep an eye on Auto Repair Focus. We are going to be doing a bit more around this. And as I said, if you're already seeing our content, you know how passionate I am about this industry. And I firmly believe that we have an opportunity to lead the way. And our content's going to be doing that as best we can for you. Shameless promotion time, but we have already done a video feature on electric vehicles and what you need to know. There's a feature on training as well. Again, what you need to know. We've also done diesel. There's loads. Check out the Auto Repair Focus YouTube channel. Just search for Auto Repair Focus on the platform. And while you're there, it doesn't cost anything. It's a 2-second job. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way, every time we drop a feature, a news video, anything like that, you'll get a notification, and then you'll know to watch it or to share it or whatever you want to do. And while you're doing that, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast as well on whatever platform you're listening to this on, and make sure that you never miss an episode. So enough of my talking and rambling. I think it's time to look at Automechanika Birmingham, which is coming up fast. Earlier on this year, I caught up with Joanne Knowles, the event director from Messe Frankfurt, and Rachel Marshall, the sales manager of Automechanika Birmingham, to speak to them about the show and find out just how it's going.
Hi, I'm Joanne. I'm the event director for Automechanika Birmingham.
And hi, I'm Rachel. I'm the sales manager at Automechanika Birmingham.
We're really on track to exceed the 550 exhibitors, which is a 10% growth on 2023. Everything's looking really positive, and we've got some brilliant names involved also.
So there's loads going on this year. As Joe said, we've got an increase in the number of exhibitors from previous years. We've also got some exciting show features like the Modern Garage. We've got Paper Spray Live, Body Repair Live. We've got some content theatres like the Aftermarket Hub and the Workshop Training Hub. We've got lots of social activities around the events. We've got which includes the Women in Automotive networking drinks. That's happening on the second day of the show. And will be a really good way to encourage more women into the industry, and we'd like as many people to come along to that as possible, both men and women. Lots of exciting things happening this year.
I think also, if I can add to that as well, something really really exciting, like on top of all of that we've got going on for 2025 is Motivate. So it's the new sort of feature at the event, looking at bringing more people across into the industry to close the skills gap. So whether that's students, college attendees, mid-career changes, I'll start that again, mid-career changes, we're really looking at everyone that we can bring across to try to close that gap. So I'm really excited about that for this year, but then also for years to come. So there's over 150 hours of content at the event for garages. And that's ranging from technical talks all the way through to hands-on demonstrations, like Rach was mentioning just before. And we're working with some really key brands to make that happen. Auto Technician and Delphi are the sponsors and partners for the Workshop Hub, and that's where we'll have quite a lot of our hands-on demonstrations. And obviously free breakfast, free parking, taking all those barriers out.
There's also going to be thousands of products and new innovations to see as well, that all of our amazing exhibitors will be showcasing. Automechanika Birmingham has grown massively in the last few years. So we first launched it back in 2016. I think the biggest growth that we have seen is the number of garages attending the show, and how important those garages are seeing it to their business. As we've touched on, for them to see content and to see new products, but also to network with their peers. It has become, the key automotive aftermarket event in the UK that everyone really must attend. We've also seen a massive growth on the body shop side as well. So there really is solutions for everyone, every part of the business across the aftermarket industry.
So you would have seen a lot of promotional stuff saying, come to the show, come to Automechanika Birmingham, it's going to be wonderful. And I completely agree with everything that Joanne and Rachel said there. It's shaping up to be a fantastic event. Now, why is that? Well, in all honesty and my honest opinion, it is a show that you cannot afford to miss. Whether you're a technician, whether you're a garage owner, it's worth taking time out to go. Over 550 exhibitors, hundreds and hundreds of products, promotions, launches. There's the technical training seminars dotted around as well. The opportunity to network and to meet other garage owners or influencers or suppliers and managers. And then, of course, there's free parking and a free breakfast. So if you're going for anything, go for that at least. seriously, Automechanika Birmingham, since it started in 2016, has ramped up and up and up. They've been doing a fantastic job in delivering what the aftermarket needs, which is a central trade show. Now, there are others that take place around the country, but on the scale of Automechanika Birmingham, you won't find anything else. And over 3 days at the NEC, over 3 halls, you're going to get plenty out of that show. Now, I said before, we're on stand A94, come by and see us, but really plan your trip. Make sure that you know who you want to see, where you're going, and you will get so much out of the day. It really is worthwhile. And if you don't believe me, then I'll leave it to Dean Lomas, the newer diversion mechanic from DC Lomas Limited, Tim Benson from Oldfields Garage, and Simon Powney from Markham's Garage. 3 well-known garage owners in the UK to explain not just why they're going, but why you should be going to Automechanika Birmingham 2025.
Every single garage owner or mechanic and everyone within the garage industry, whether you work in HR or being a mechanic on the shop floor, everyone needs to be going to Automechanika, and they need to be able to expand and broaden the horizon of what the industry is changing into. And this is where every single one of our staff is, we're sending them down there. We're making sure that they've got food and water, and they're going to be enjoying the full event as well.
If you don't go to events like this, you're really letting yourself down, in my opinion. It's one of those opportunities that you get once every couple of years, get out of your comfort zone, get to see what's happening in the industry, connecting and talking with other garages, suppliers. It's just a brilliant opportunity. And we actually give our whole team the chance to go. We split up into groups and we go over the 3 days. So
it's a go-to show. Yeah, definitely. Recommend it to any independent garage. Just because there's so many suppliers there, so many different, for example, tools and stuff like that. You'll see something like laser tools there with all the new tools that we haven't seen before. So it's a good chance to see these things and spend some money.
I also asked Dean Lomas what his top tip would be for those of you who are going to Automechanika Birmingham and those of you that have yet to register but are going to register as soon as you possibly can. And he came out with this.
Top tip for Automechanika is comfy shoes and don't take a coat. It's quite warm inside, so you'll be carrying a coat around with you all day. As well, you'll be getting a lot of bags. Make sure it's like a shopping trip. Collect the bags you need to collect. Don't collect the ones you don't need to collect, because you're going to end up with tons and tons of stuff that you may need or you may not need. And utilize the stalls, what you're going to visit, and gain the information and get a goodie bag from the ones where you want the real information from. You can collect the bags if you like bags. Free cups and hats is always nice though.
And I can be testament to that. A few years ago, my kitchen was just completely full of free cups, and I still have a multitude of the free pens that I've picked up over the years, although trying to be a bit more sustainable now, so I'll probably pick up less pens this year. There's more for you guys who are going. It really is the event that can't be missed. And like I said, tickets are free. So do make sure that you are planning to go, that you're registered to go. Work out what day's best. Book work around if you need to. But use it as a fact-finding mission, because there is no large show in the UK like it. And you will get so many opportunities. And yet the regional shows, they are all great as well. They all work together. But on a scale of Automechanika, the regional shows can feed into that. And you can get ideas that you can then take back and speak to suppliers again at regional shows. Make sure you're at the NEC between the 3rd and the 5th of June. And while you're there, stand A94. I can't say it enough. Pop by, say hi, let me know what you're thinking about when it comes to the aftermarket, and just let's have a chat, because I really want to hear your views on the industry. I also want to hear your views on Auto Repair Focus, because like I said, we work for you. So we need to know what you really want. You can register for your free ticket via autorepairfocus.com. Visit the website and click on Automechanika Birmingham in the menu, and when you get there you'll see a button to sign up to, and also the latest show news and what's going on. We'll see you there. Make sure we do. And I'll leave the last note on this section to Joanne Knowles when I asked her, should garages be attending Automechanika Birmingham 2025?
Yes, 100%. If you've not already registered, go and do it now.
Earlier this year, I sat down with Mick Lunn, Ruby Lunn and Layla Lunn from ifnd Autoparts, a new platform that allows you to list older parts that you may have lying around the workshop online and connect with potential buyers. Now, this is a platform built purely for the automotive sector. It's not a general marketplace, and it's built by passionate enthusiasts as well, people who actually want to connect with the industry in such a way. The team have been doing a bit of a tour of the UK since this interview was recorded. They've been at 3 major shows and really pushed the model out. So you may have seen it around the news, but I wanted to find out a bit more about the platform, how it came to be, and just what it can offer to the industry. So, sitting down with Mick, Ruby and Layla, this is the interview that we came out with.
Yeah, well, I'm Mick, and this is ifnd Autoparts. And we've together with my 2 daughters, we've created an Autoparts
marketplace
platform. And I've got 2 very talented daughters that were working in that industry, not the motor parts industry, but in the industry, and they're very talented. So they put it together. I'm more or less the ideas man, and they put everything into action. Mm-hmm. For people who are interested in keeping their vehicles on the road, like myself, so I can understand the frustration really and all that, then finding parts and the journey that you go on when you're doing these type of projects, or even just keeping your normal car on the road. It can become a mission to get the right part or whatever it is. So we started really, like I say, from the buyer back, and when we built it, we've sort of like, what does a consumer want for this? And when we've developed it from the consumers to try and encapsulate a full package that everyone can trade from, and make it as easy as we can for everyone to trade. And they've got a level playing field. There's a level playing field for people to pay and trade parts that is amicable, and when you're not dominated by a prime seller to take what's on offer,
And I think that's the thing, it really was generated from this frustration of not being able to find the car parts that we needed, and so we thought, how can we create a space where the car community can come together, build this one hub in this one place that's driven by the community? Because we almost like to think, well, we're car enthusiasts and we're building it not just for enthusiasts, but everybody in the car community together. And that's really how we came up with the concept of ifnd Autoparts, wasn't it? From our general frustrations that we were having. So how can we fix this for ourselves, but then how can we fix this for other people as well?
Yeah, so we started probably 2021. So it took us about 3 years to get to this point. The last year has been the most frustrating because it's been adding things on, like making shipping easier, making that parts finder easier for everyone. And we're trialling like registration numbers, VIN numbers, applications to try and make it easier, but couldn't find anything really that really named the car without fail. So that we developed it. I think the only way you can do it is type the part number in. So if you had the OEM part number, that's the only way you can truly find the correct part number for your car after trying everything else. But no, it's been quite a journey up to now, and and we're there. We've just launched it, it's
A
good.
lot of sleepless nights. And of course, it's always really nice working with your family. Did you notice the sarcasm there? Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we sort of like try to pick up every type of seller from the Joe Blow, myself, that can easily put parts online. And the idea was to get initially, before we developed it further, was just to put all my parts that I have on for my projects and spare parts that I have online and make it easier than anything else to do. That's why we created the app for posts where you can do it in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, well, we realised there was no core space for people to go to sell car parts. There was a lot of other mixed matched marketplaces where people were going and not getting or being in the space of where they could really know that they had their listing in front of the right people and the right people were looking at car parts, and there wasn't a community there. And we saw that and we thought we can really build something here and
Build
create
that dedicated space.
Yeah, create that dedicated space where we can curate to the community what's needed.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's built for the enthusiast, so he can put his parts online and trade them, and then buy new parts for his new project. It's to get them out and then get it fluid, because even though he might not need that part anymore, somebody else needs that item, and you might think it's rubbish, but it's crucial to somebody. That little door card or gear knob that you had on your 1974 Capri is on your shelf, but somebody's doing a project that needs that 1974 Capri gear knob. It's quite funny. Until you start searching for parts, you don't realise that they can be there. And we built lots of features in that, and sometimes I've been on the internet for months and found somebody that is literally round the corner selling the part I want. And that, but it's not advertised properly, or it's not things. So we really want to encourage people to get what they think is rubbish on the shelf, including main suppliers. So if we was to approach a main manufacturer, we say, look, don't give us what you're selling all the time. Put them items online that are not selling, because they're the items that people are looking for, on your thing, because they're probably selling oil filters to motor factors, and we want them to sell them Ford Focus struts from 2000 that are still sitting on the shelf, and we want them on the place, So
it's almost like that age-old adage where it's the trash to treasure. Your trash is someone else's treasure. So just because you don't want it anymore doesn't mean that someone else isn't out there searching for that desperately.
Yeah, and we built all things in there that sellers can decide how they want to sell, isn't it? We sort of put offers, multiple offers, fixed price, auctions, and everything in between, that they can just choose which way to sell, and that is amicable for them and amicable for the buyer, so they can have multiple offers there on if they had 20 items and somebody could offer them 10, to speed that process up. They can put something in the background to say what their minimum offer would be, and it would speed up that process of purchasing it. Somebody could put some multiple offers in, then if it reached their reserve, then they would buy it without contacting the seller and waiting for replies. We have got live chat integrated, so if you wanted to talk to the seller, there's live chat through text on the platform, and that's, you can have immediate contact. If you say, I've got this Bentley and I need the supercharger refurbished, is that bearing the correct bearing, and that, and check the information that they're advertising, and that. So there is that feature on there, and that, so there's very good on that part.
And as you may have heard, the lunch van turned up just around that point, so we paused for a moment to chat a bit more. But I just want to point out that we look at the industry a bit differently these days. There's a lot more online commerce, and as I mentioned earlier on, with the UK car park getting older, there's always an opportunity that perhaps you may need some parts that aren't readily available, or you may have a customer who doesn't want to spend a huge amount of money, and you can find parts online that may cost less. I know that's not ideal and that's not really something we always want to be promoting, but sometimes you have to work with customers' needs, as long as it's not customer supplied parts, which is another episode. Platforms like ifnd, especially, they've been built for, well, ifnd platform has been built especially for the automotive industry. And it also offers a community. So, as Mick said, you've got live chat, you've got the opportunity to connect with buyers, you can check the parts, and you know the parts that are on there are going to be sold by people who actually care about the industry. So definitely I would say check it out. You can do so at ifndautoparts.com. That's ifnd autoparts.com. There's already loads of listings on there, so it's definitely worth a look. And we'll hopefully be catching up with the team a little later on this year to find out how the launch has been and how the platform is going. I just want to reiterate again that Auto Transmission is a podcast for you, the garage technician, the garage owner. To be fair, anyone who has picked this podcast up in the automotive aftermarket or beyond, please subscribe. We are available on Apple, YouTube Music, I think it said Google, and it's not Google anymore, YouTube Music, Amazon Music, Spotify. To be honest, wherever you get your podcast from, you will find Auto Transmission, the podcast from Auto Repair Focus. Don't forget to register for your ticket for Automechanika Birmingham. Don't forget to swing by stand A94. You're probably sick of me saying that by now. And thank you very much for listening to this first episode. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss future ones. We'll see you next time.